I'm not even going to start with the introductions. Let's just get right into Muffy. Okay, Muffy. Let's talk about the situation. Let me just tell y'all body language. Y'all know I'm going to give y'all body language 101. And y'all know I'm about to give y'all facial expressions. Just everything about this scene was just really disrespectful on Marty's half. And let me tell you why. Because the first time Muffy goes up to him, right? The Marty's whole demeanor changed. He's with his girlfriend. They're smiling. They're laughing. And then he goes, Muffy. And then she goes, Marte. And they start having a whole ass conversation. Remind you, a couple of minutes went by. He has not introduced his girlfriend whatsoever. He completely forgot about her, right? And this girl is sitting over here playing with her ear. She's playing with her hair, putting her hair behind her ear. She's looking down. She's really fucking uncomfortable because she feels like she's intruding on her boyfriend and some girl she doesn't even know. Now, put yourself in Rachel's shoes, right? So her boyfriend is flirting with this. Just be extra friendly to this girl that you do not know. She's being extra friendly to your boyfriend, and they're talking. They're having a whole ass conversation about her foot, a whole ass conversation that you know nothing about. You don't know who she is. They're just carrying on as if you're not even there. At this point, Rachel is not even there, and Buffy and Marty are just carrying on. They have really good chemistry. They're going back and forth, and then he starts talking about her foot, and then he starts being possessive. Like, he starts being overprotective. Like, you need to go see a foot doctor. Like, how's your foot? Are you okay? And then Buffy is like looking at Marty because she's just like, bitch, my heart. Like, Buffy's obviously feeling something, and then all of a sudden you see Buffy go, her eyes shift, and she starts looking at Rachel, and Rachel's looking at her, and then Buffy completely brushes off Marty, like his concern, because she feels completely uncomfortable because they were really having a private moment while this man's girlfriend is standing right next to him, right? So Buffy goes, hi, I'm Buffy. Strike number one. Marty should have introduced Rachel before before they even had that conversation. That should have happened after. He should have said Buffet, and then she said Marty, and then she said Marty. He should have said, Buffy, look, this is my girlfriend Rachel. We've been together for so and so, right? That would have been perfectly fine. Rachel wouldn't have a problem until she had a problem when he was sitting there flirting with Buffy and didn't introduce her. Buffy had to literally include her into the conversation for her to even be noticed. So Rachel's already pissed off. She's standing off to the side, and what ends up happening? He said, "Yeah, this is my girlfriend Rachel, right?" And she goes, "Hey." She's like, hey, and Buffy goes, oh, so you're real. And then Rachel's like, what the fuck you, like, bitch, what? So she's already feeling some type of way because of the way how comfortable Buffy was with her boyfriend, and just how the whole situation started. It was disrespectful from the beginning. So Rachel's literally like, bitch, what? So now we know, like, that she's uncomfortable by the whole station. Oh, so you're real. Like, she's like, bitch, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like what do you mean by I'm real? Like, Buffy, it came off playful, but at this point, there's no being kiki. There's no point being friendly. You were being disrespectful, and you were basically flirting. You were having a moment with my man in front of my face, and he was entertaining you. Like, so Rachel's in attack mode. So anything Buffy does, even if it's not Buffy's fault, it's Marty's fault. But just the way how her eyes softened after he was like the whole foot thing, she's already over Buffy. So Buffy tries to make the joke like, it's the Canada joke. And then Marty, what makes it worse, Marty comes in and he's like, yeah, it's something that people say if you don't believe they're real. And then they're both finishing each other's sentences. They're both laughing. And then at the end, they say the exact same thing. Never mind. Uncomfortable, right? So Buffy obviously senses the sees the tension. She tries to leave, and then immediately she leaves. She goes back to Cyrus, and what the fuck's happening? Rachel and Marty are arguing, rightfully so. That would have been an argument if my boyfriend, if I had a boyfriend, he did some shit like that. That was trifling. So Marty's basically like, she's pointing at Buffy. She's bold as hell, by the way, because she bold. I don't think she know Buffy. Buffy was ready to snap on Amber. When she's very protective. Now, like, you had the wrong one. So when she was pointing, Buffy, Cyrus was like, what did you do? And she was like, nothing. And then Cyrus was like, it was obviously something. And she said, I made a joke about Canada. And then her and Cyrus, those good on virus moments. Buffy and Cyrus are always together. Like, they are always hanging out together. I love them together. Like, the ultimate friendship. The ultimate friendship. I already said that Buffy and Cyrus are the closest ones. So, of course. And then we fast forward and we see that Buffy is ordering from the stand, right? And she hears arguing in the background. And I really paid attention to this argument, y'all. And I got my life listening to it. Rachel goes, who is she? And he was like, she's just a friend. And he was like, she likes you. She has a crush on you. And then she obviously likes you. And then he was like, she's not a friend. She obviously likes you. And then Marty goes, she doesn't like me. And then Rachel goes, how do you know that? He was like, did you ask her? And then this is when the whole conversation went down here. He said it was a long time ago. He didn't even deny it. He said it's a long time ago. And she goes, I knew it. And listen. Could you imagine just being Rachel right now and you having a boyfriend and he had a crush on his friend and he asked her out, but she rejected him and they decided to be friends. But there's a lingering feeling around there. Like, there's still feelings there. Would you be okay if you was Rachel in this situation? Because everybody's looking from a Muffy perspective. Like, I love Muffy. But even looking at that scene, I felt bad for Rachel. I did because at this point, like, it's kind of just like, Buffy, you had your chance for this to be your boyfriend. You denied him being your boyfriend. Like, it's kind of just like, it's really Marty's fault, but Buffy, like, the way her eyes softened when he was mentioning the foot and just the looks that she was giving this episode, she had feelings for him. And as a female, Rachel obviously picked up on it, and it was just really disrespectful. It was crazy disrespectful, this episode. They were arguing, and then Buffy tries to turn around real fast to leave the little ordering station, and she stumbles on her foot. She goes, ow, right? She hurts her foot. And then automatically Marty gets protective. He tries to rush to her side, comfort her. Even after a whole argument with his girlfriend, he sees Buffy in trouble, he's running. So he's about to run to Buffy, and Buffy's like, oh my God, no, don't do this. She's just like, feelings, it's obviously that the feelings that she has for Marty makes her uncomfortable. Like, she's nervous, she's scared that one day they'll break up and their friendship will never be the same, which is why she rejected him the first time, even though she has deep feelings for Marty. But she feels bad for Rachel. I felt bad for Rachel. So when she saw Marty rush to her side, she basically tried to push him away. That's what Buffy does. Every time Marty tries to be there for her, she always pushes him away, like, because that scares her. I think the deep feelings that she had from him scare her, which is why she was trying to push him away. Yeah, like, it was just hella disrespectful. And then the ending scene where he tells Buffy, I broke up with her, and she goes, I hope it's not because of me. And he was like, no, this and that and the third. and she does go see the feet doctor, whatever. And they're talking, and he was just like, I told her that I don't like you like that anymore. We're just friends. And there was a scene where Buffy goes, "Why not?" Like, when she heard that Marty don't have feelings for her no more, her face dropped. Like, she was sad. She was like, "Why not? Like, what's wrong with me? Why did you stop liking me? Like, it was supposed to be me." So, and then Buffy looks back at Marty as he walks away. Marty, if you notice, did not look back at her. We're gonna get our look back scene. I feel like it might be the end of Muffy. Like, if it ends like this, I'm okay with it, because it should have taken off, but at the same time, it's kind of just like, you had your chance, Buffy, so I can't get mad if y'all don't get together or he finds someone else. You know what I'm saying? But I would be sad if they don't be together, because they have amazing chemistry. So yeah, like, that whole scene was just really, really good. Like, I was blown away by Muffy this episode. Like, I felt like it was really good. It was really good. I can't wait to see how that relationship plays out. Now, let's talk about Jamber. Okay, so Jamber comes on screen. We see Amber walk into the shop, and she goes, well, she makes a joke about Jonah writing her a song, right? And then he jumps up. She was like, writing a song about me, and she was like, kidding, just kidding. Amber, I truly believe that Amber was not kidding. The only girl he ever wrote a song for was Andi. I feel like subconsciously, Andi was the only girl that Jonah was serious about. The only girl that Jonah was serious about. He felt so strongly about Andi, he broke up with Amber for Andi, got with Andi. They were having a lot of communication issues. They were just so different. It just didn't work. He dated Libby to get over Andi, and then dated Amber to get over Libby, but he still really has feelings for Andi. That's how I'm kind of seeing it right now. Even though he was a trash ass boyfriend to Andi, I believed he really did have feelings for the girl. Like, because he wrote her music, he had that panic attack. The only girlfriend he ever felt like really having a girlfriend with was Andi. So, I mean, next episode we're supposed to be getting some type of Jandy moment. So I can't wait to see how that plays out. So she goes up to him, and she was like, writing a song about me, and he was like, and she goes, kidding, just kidding. And she basically tells Jonah, have you been ignoring my text messages? I tried to call you and everything. And then he goes, my phone. Jonah was just lying through his teeth the whole time. Like, you could just tell the way he kept blinking, the way he kept misdirecting his eyes, just looking everywhere but at her, the way he kept smiling nervously, just terrible. I felt so bad for Amber in that moment, because she said, Jonah, be honest with me. Are you avoiding me? Is something wrong? Like, come on, Jonah. Like, you're not just her boyfriend, you are also her friend. At least be honest with her. That's the least you can do, is be honest with her. But it was just so crazy. Like, the way he was like, oh no, my phone's off. And he was like, is something wrong? No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. He said, everything's fine. But you got to look at the body language, the way he's looking around, the way he's batting his eyes. Everything's fine. Have you been ignoring my text? What? The way he played off that his phone was silent. So disrespectful. This is just a disrespectful ass episode, y'all. Just so disrespectful. So he goes, my phone was cut off. And then he makes up and then she was like, maybe I could watch you play. And he makes up a lie, bringing Cyrus into his lie, saying that I was doing checks. Like, I'm practicing chess. And she goes, I didn't think you was a chess kind of guy. You see how they keep winking at Tyrus? I didn't think you were a chess kind of guy. Where the fuck is Tyrus? Like, bro, like, I'm looking at every scene and I'm just like, where the fuck is Tyrus? Like, damn. So we get more of Amber. I felt so bad for Amber. Like, Jonah is crazy. Like, I don't understand. Like, Amber, I mean, Amber did cheat on you, but you never found out that she cheated on you. You didn't believe Andi when she cheated on you. That whole storyline is just completely after trash. I don't even think we're gonna see the fucking the boy that Amber cheated on Jonah with. Like, cause I was so ready for that, and then they just completely disregarded it. So now, because they're going to completely ignore the fact that Amber cheated on Jonah, I'm going to ignore the fact too. So let's talk about it. Ever since Amber parents were going to a divorce and Amber had to like sell her clothes, I felt so bad. Amber parents went through a divorce. They are living together, but they're divorced, so it's just like an uncomfortable household for her. She mentioned that with Andi in the rage cage or whatever episode. Amber family, her father lost his job, so now she was selling her clothes on the fucking corner, right? The last season she didn't have Jonah anymore, and her friend, what's her name, Iris, basically said that Amber needs a boyfriend because she has low self-esteem. She needs a boyfriend to make her feel good about herself. So we already know this about Amber, and then on top of that, it's like she started working at the Spoon to make money. She tried to make amends. She made amends with all the bad people in her life. She's going to therapy. She's a better person now. Are we forgetting that Amber is also the same person when Jonah's family went bankrupt? She was the one giving him free food so he can eat and he doesn't go hungry throughout the fucking day. Are we forgetting? Hold on. Are we forgetting that Amber also paid for Jonah's tickets so he didn't have to be embarrassed in front of the gang that he couldn't go? Like, are we forgetting this? Like, because when her family went, when her father lost a job and Jonah was still dating Andi, we saw that him and Amber had that moment outside, and Andi was feeling uncomfortable when he hugged her or whatever, because they were starting to become better friends. And then we see, fast forward, Amber is returning the favor to Jonah. Like, I can't, like, this whole, and then on top of that, it's like she finally gets to a place where she loves Jonah. Like, Amber is a year, she's older than them, so she's in high school while they're in middle school. So I can understand boys mature slower than girls. So I can understand her saying "I love you" to Jonah and him not wanting to precipitate, right? Or say it back. It would have been fine if he says, "Look, Amber, I'm not ready to say it back now." But that's not even the case. It's not even a case of, "Amber, I don't feel like I'm ready to say it back now." It's a case of, "Amber, I just want to have fun." That's the real reason. So I don't understand, like, why did you say yes to going out with her when you knew that potentially she's going to want more? And then we already knew that Amber being with boys help her, like, her self-esteem or whatever. It's just a lot of fucked up shit going on with Amber and how she's in therapy to make herself feel better. It's just a lot of shit going on with Amber. I just feel really bad for her. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with all the characters, but wow, just wow. Um, and then we see later on that he's in the movie theaters with Cyrus, and he put Cyrus in the lie again. And Cyrus, being the good friend that he is, he goes along with it. Like, cause he's put on the spot, so he just goes, okay, sure. And then he was like, and then Jonah said, she's getting so clingy. Like, the way he said it just made my stomach turn. I was like, bitch, she's so clingy, but when you needed a meal and your ass was starving in the fucking spoon, she was the one who was fucking feeding you and providing that shit for you. Was she not? And she's the one who she didn't even, Amber was so clutch, she didn't tell nobody in that goddamn group. Like, I don't care what y'all say. Y'all can say Amber's a bitch or Jonah has relationship problems. Like, if you're not ready to be in a relationship, just don't be in a relationship. It's very that simple. Like, it's simple as hell. But the fact that he was dragging this shit out was just like, come on now, like, come on, give her the decency to just be honest. And then I love the fact that we got a glimpse of old Amber when Amber put that chessboard on the goddamn table and she was with Cyrus and she goes, we're gonna play chess. And she was like, oh, did you know I play competitive chess? Because Amber's not no fucking dummy. So when Amber put the chessboard, I was like, yes, we're getting old Amber. This is what I live for. This is what I want. Amber basically called Cyrus out. She was just like, you basically lied to me. You're supposed to be my friend. And he was like, yeah, Jonah's my friend too. And she was like, yeah, but I'm your friend too. And I like how she reminded Cyrus, like, hey, I'm your friend as well. But that was not fair because Cyrus was definitely for sure put on the spot. He was lying to Amber, but he didn't know what he was lying about. It was because Jonah just didn't want to be around her. That was unsettling. That was messed up. And then they were talking, and then he's talking to Cyrus outside the goddamn school, and he was just like, I think I should just break up with her. He's just going on and on and on. And Amber's just sitting there right there. And every time he just says some foul shit, like, Jonah is also Amber's friend. He's not just her boyfriend. So he was saying all this foul shit, like, she's so clingy. I can't be with her. And when he was just going on and on, I was like, bro, that's your friend. Like, if. And then Amber, basically, with the look on Amber's face, she was just so over that. She just looked so robotic. Like, she looked so numb when Jonah was like, I'm sorry, and this and that and third. I didn't mean to. And she basically called him out. Yo, if you want to break up with me, just break up with me. Like, come on. Like, Amber was on some grown shit, and I really appreciate it. She was like, she was not going to cry. She wasn't going to be angry. I mean, I feel like she is going to cry, but at home. But the fact that she sat there and she was just so stone cold, she was like, okay, what it is, you want to break up with me, but don't, drag it out. She was like, yeah, I heard what you said the first time. And then Jonah was feeling bad. You should feel bad. Now about this whole, I'm sorry, I'm eating a cupcake and it's good as fuck. Like, yo, this is so good. Mm. Okay, so okay, so let's talk about Andi. I want Andi to get into that fucking school. Like, it broke my heart to see the last scene and the look on Beck's face when she didn't believe that Andi could get in that school because she saw the other kids' work. That pissed me off because it's like, yo, Bex, you was so ready for Andi to get into this damn school. The minute you see other kids work, you completely be like, oh, my daughter not good enough. Like, what type of bullshit is that? Like, what type of shit is that? And then the crazy part about it is Andi won't even ride in to get into the school. It was Bex who was like, girl, you need to get into this school. You'll be perfect for the school. She was the one was like, fill out the application. And she was riding so hard for her. And then she looked at the other kids' work and was like, damn, my daughter not good enough. Like, what type of fuck? That hurt my fucking feelings. Like, I won't even Andi, and that hurt my feelings. I was like, are you serious? And then Andi said And then I like how Andy's explanation is. Andi is so visual. Like, I love that. You know how hard it is to look at something on YouTube and do it step by step, but to do it step by step and do it perfectly. Andi has mad fucking skill and she has a lot of fucking potential. She has a lot of fucking potential. You know how hard it is to do a self portrait? I know a lot of people was like, oh, the picture looks kind of scary. It does look kind of scary, but you have to get the dimensions right. You have to get the facial features right. Andi is just in middle school. Like, I don't expect her to be able to perfect how to draw a face. Drawing yourself is the hardest thing to do because as a person, when you see yourself, it's kind of like how you see yourself. It's you want to tweak certain features. You want to make things look good. It's hard. It's really hard. It's really fucking hard to draw your face. Like, I have a couple of self portraits in my house where my nose is too fucking big. My my hair is not detail enough because I was using a lot of color pencils and when I did chalk, but I did everything right. Like, I have those pictures up on my wall because it shows me how much I improved each time I do like a fucked up portrait. I would have it on my wall. Like, I would, like, one day I'll probably show it to y'all, but you know, yeah, like, it looks scary. My sister said it looks ugly as hell, but I still keep it up because I worked really fucking hard on it. Yeah, it actually Andi is somebody, I feel like Andi can make it big. Like, I feel like Andi is not more of an artist, she's more of a crafter. It's just so something to me. The fact that last episode we saw Andi rumbling through the trash and she automatically knew what the fuck to do with this trash. She's like, oh, I can make a bracelet out of these bottle caps. I can do it like that. She sees it, she thinks of it, and she can do it. That that is so fucking hard. I have the opposite effect. I know how things are supposed to look in my head, but it never turns out the way I want it to on paper. So I am constantly like getting frustrated with myself. The fact that Andi could take what she thinks and do it perfectly, that takes a lot of fucking skill. She's very visual. Like, that is smart. That's smart as hell. Like, there are some people who can listen to a tune or listen to somebody play an instrument, not know what keys they're using, and just replicate it because they see it like that. She's a visual learner. I respect that. I want Annie to get into this damn school. I don't care if her friends are upset because she's going to a different school. I don't care about any of that shit. You gotta, her future is gonna be so fucking lit, y'all. Like, I can't wait. And then when she was like really looking at the applications of whether she was qualified to get into the school, I felt her on that as well. Because here's the thing, there's a lot of people who don't have certifications or don't have background experience and they do amazingly. They do a great fucking job. So I know people who are really good at braiding hair or doing hair, but they don't have like a hair license or they never went to school for it, you know? So it's kind of tit for tat. It's kind of like that. And he may not have any awards to show for it or experience to show for it, but just looking at her shit, like, get her into that fucking school. Point blank, period. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. It's your girl Naya here, and peace. Oh, and I would just like to, before I go, I would like to make a shout out to Cameron, the boy from Jesse. Yo, I was so upset when he died. Rest in peace. Like, he was the whole reason why I watched Descendants. I might make a review of the movie or how I feel about Descendants. He was the whole reason why I watched Descendants. I thought he was so fucking cute. Like, yo, I found out that we were the same goddamn age. I always thought he was younger than me, and then when I found out that he was my age, I was like, let's go, gang gang. Yeah, like, recipes. The boy had a seizure. I was really upset. Like, that's one of the reasons why it took me so long to make this video. It was that, and because I'm working on like a comic book. I feel like this video is going on for too long. I have to go. Bye. Y'all tell me what y'all think in this comment section below, alright? Bye.